What's good? This is Trey, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to be attractive to an abundance of beautiful women. All right, so I'm going to give you an actual formula that you can follow to, if you want the result of attracting beautiful women in your life. So you'll have abundance and you'll have options, and then you can create the relationships that you want to create from there, right? So, over the last couple of years, I'd actually say since 2012, when I just started going out and talking to women and approaching women and basically working on my game and becoming as attractive as a man as I can, right? And I've been able to figure out different things through study, through references, through taking action. And then I've been able to sort of break down different things that I'm doing to get results, right? So here's a formula for basically, if you want to start attracting beautiful women in your life, this is something you can do, right? So the first thing is you want to develop a sense of social freedom, right? Some people have it naturally, some have to work on it, right? I had to work on it. Social freedom, and then you want to have social freedom, but you want to be independent of your environment, right? So some people have social freedom in certain situations, right? Like maybe they'll have social freedom with their friends, or they have social freedom with their family, or they have social freedom in certain settings. But you want to become the kind of guy that is socially free wherever he is, right? And it's something you want to have control of. So you could be in an environment, you could be chilling, but when the time's right, you can, go into that mode where you're able to express yourself freely and say what you gotta say and do what you gotta do, right? So you want to be socially free. You're able to express yourself and you're not worried about anyone's opinion or anything like that, right? So you want to develop that, right? The way how I did it was basically you have to get to a point where you're not really seeking validation. You don't really care about people's opinions like that, and then you'll be able to really freely communicate and be socially free. So I did that by going out and talking to lots of women in different situations, putting myself in awkward situations, you know what I mean, getting rejected, having successes, seeing that the shit is not to be taken personal. You know what I mean? You're gonna meet some women that's gonna vibe with you, some women not gonna vibe with you, right? And then it's also taking into consideration your game, how much you understand female psychology, how good you are with your communication, that kind of thing, your style, all of that, right? So you want to develop social freedom, right? The second thing you want is detachment from outcome. So you have to get to a point where you don't really care as much about getting the result. You don't really care that much if you get the number. You don't really care that much if you pick up the woman or if you are able to get her to see you in a romantic or sexual way. You don't really care too much, right? You're not so attached to the outcome. Like, of course you want to win, of course you want to succeed, but you're not so attached to the outcome where you can't even, where you're so restricted and you're filtering yourself and you're nervous or you're stiff. You know what I mean? You have to get to a point where you have to think abundantly. Like, you have to understand that there's always going to be another woman. So if this woman rejects you, there's always going to be another woman. And it's there's too many, right? There's just too many. So that you have to get out of that idea of, oh, if I don't get this woman, then I suck. Or if I don't get this woman, then I'm a loser. It's not true. There's plenty of women out there, and there's plenty of women that are right for you. You just have to get through the ones that are not right for you to find the one that is right for you. Anyway, so detachment from outcome. You can't be so attached to the outcome. You can't be so, oh, I must get the number. Oh, I must get her to go on a date with me or whatever it is. You have to just free yourself up mentally and emotionally. Just understand there are plenty of women, there are plenty of opportunities out there. One opportunity should not make or break you. And then the next thing you need is game, right? And to me, game is basically a combination of understanding female psychology, um, understanding what women find attractive in a man, what triggers attraction in a woman, and basically having communication skills to trigger attraction in a woman, and sort of um, basically direct a conversation or interaction into the direction of a romantic connection or a sexual connection, right? Basically, her seeing you as a potential mate and not just a friend, right? So that's what game is to me. So you want to develop that, right? You want to get the truth on what works and what women respond to and what they're attracted to, not the bullshit that you've been given growing up or by society or whatever, or your friends, you know what I mean? People that don't know what they're talking about. Like, you have to actually know what's really going on. And if you put all these things together into a man, he will become attractive to women, right? Let's go over it again. Social freedom, right? Social freedom. So you have to be able to express yourself freely. So you have to get to a point where you don't really care about people's opinions like that, and you have self-esteem, and you value yourself, and you love yourself, and you actually you value expression, right? Okay, and you know what you want, and you'll communicate in that way. You want to be able to actually express yourself, how you really feel, what you really want, right? You don't want to be playing. You don't want to be like putting on a facade and trying to fit in, and nah, because that stuff is not attractive. It's not seductive. It's just going to keep you in a box. The next one is detachment from outcome, right? So you want to be able to, this kind of ties into the social freedom thing. You kind of have to get to a point where you're having fun with your interactions. Like, you're kind of just, maybe you're just interested in people's reactions. Sometimes I have to put myself in a state of mind where I'm just curious of how someone's gonna respond to me. I don't even really care about the outcome. I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen here, right? So when I approach a woman, sometimes I'll approach a woman and I'll literally just be approaching her just to see like what is she gonna say? Like, I'm curious, because sometimes, you'll see a woman and you'll think maybe she's gonna respond in a certain way. You approach her and she'll respond completely different of what you expected, right? So to me, that's kind of interesting, right? So I'll approach women for that reason. And that's sort of a form of detachment from outcome. I don't really care about the outcome. It's more about, let me just see what happens here, right? I'm just curious, right? And that's a vibe, right? Because she can tell that you're not just there, oh, he just wants to, he just wants to get in my pants or whatever. It's not that. It's more so, let's just see what happens, right? Obviously, as a man, you do want to get in their pants. Like, that's obvious, but you're not really like thirsty about it, or you're not attached to it. It's kind of like, if it happens, it happens. And that's a vibe that women are more comfortable with, right? Because of what it communicates. It communicates that you must be in some form of abundance. The guy who's not in abundance is not thinking like that. The guy who's not in abundance is just thinking, how can I get in her pants? How can I hit that or whatever? Whereas the guy who already has a lot of women, or he already has an abundance, he's more on the chill side, like, who cares? Whatever happens, happens. And that's the vibe you want to create. And then game, like I said, is understanding female psychology, understanding how to communicate in an attractive manner, understanding what women find attractive, and it's demonstrating those things, right? And every man is different. Every man has different strengths, different weaknesses, and you got to know what you got going for you and what you don't have going for you. You amplify the things that you've been gifted with, and kind of use those things to overshadow your weaknesses, right? And if possible, bring up your weaknesses. Some of your weaknesses you can't really do too much about. Don't worry about that. But the things you can work on, the things you can improve, put put your energy into those things. You combine all those things and you will become attractive to women. Women will start responding to you in a positive way. And then you'll be able to direct the energy that these women are giving to you. Now you can direct it into the relationships that you want. If you want a rotation, you can create that. If you want a girlfriend, you can create that. If you want friends with benefits, whatever it is, you can create that. But you have to get to a point where you can consistently attract beautiful women, so you can have options, so you can have abundance, where you're not just like settling or doing something because it's the only thing you got, the only option you have, right? So I hope this video was helpful. Hope it made sense. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.